how do you stay energized? Because it seems like that can suck a tremendous amount of energy from you. So how do you stay
Right.
energized? Like, because you're saying there's some people who are going to be like just sucking you with like these argumentative types of questions, or they're trolling or whatever. And then
Yeah.
on one hand, because that unpredictability itself can be somewhat draining, because you don't know what to
Yeah.
expect that day, right?
No,
You don't know what to
absolutely.
prepare for. So how
Absolutely.
do you stay energized, on this online platform? It's hard, I find. For you specifically, because I think every daya has their what they draw upon.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Or like it could be part of it. Could be a routine. Part of it
Sure.
is like they have a way of charging themselves up,
Sure.
right? So, but you obviously
So-
have a deep desire. You have a deep purpose of doing the dawah, or you wouldn't be there in the first
Right.
place.
Right.
But I'm always interested to know that, because especially with du'at that have been in the game 20, 30, 40 years,
Yeah.
you want to last, right? You want to
Yeah.
be
Sure.
in there for the long run.
So I'm going to give you I'm going to give you a direct answer, and when you hear it first, you might be like, okay, yeah, I got it. But I'll kind of elaborate on it. All right. So the best way to keep motivated that I found personally, and I think any da'iyah you ask who's been in the game very, for a long time, is the Quran. I mean, there is nothing like, anything that's going to motivate you like a constant relationship with the Quran. And in fact, I'll tell you, just on a personal basis, I'll notice that if I don't put in some time with the Quran, it's going to affect my dawah. It's going to affect how motivated I am, right? So it becomes very important that that a relationship with the Quran, I mean, that's really what's going to keep you grounded, right? Especially with all the vicissitudes of life and calling people to Islam, whether you're counseling Muslims or you're dealing with non-Muslims. A lot of that has to do with how strong a person's relationship is with the Quran. I usually say that if we had a Muslim superhero, the one superpower they have is the Quran, right? The stronger their connection with the Quran, I mean, there's nothing that can take you on, and that has to do not only with just studying the Quran, but also just having a spiritual relationship with Allah via the Quran, right? That you understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is speaking to us, and Allah knows us better than we know ourselves, right? So we may feel, okay, well, in this particular situation, you're down, whatever it might be, and you'll open the Quran, maybe just even randomly, and an ayah will come at you, and you're like, wow, subhanAllah, this is obviously in the will of Allah that I read this particular ayah.
Do I feel that the New York police are providing enough protection, or do I have to have protection of my own? I look for protection from Allah.